Place YouTube channel, throughout social media. We're going to get you out of here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the Drive Thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's delivered live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. Deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and at Sports Chat Place. Let's go ahead and let's take a peek at who's on the show with us here for today. All right, today's show we've got Alex Smart with us, Las Vegas, Nevada, Tony Brown, Wayne Scott, and Millz Young. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. Smart, Brown, Young, Scott, then I will close this one out. All right, college basketball on the board tonight. A few from college football, going to some of the major conferences here, ACC in action. A couple on the board from the NBA, one NFL game. Let's get the show underway. Let's go ahead and welcome in Alex Smart. We'll catch him over at Pick Dogs. Bring in Alex right now, ready to roll here with Alex Smart. I think we're set to go here. Alex, what's happening?
Hey, Tony, how you doing? We're going to go with a college football game from tonight, actually. It's Virginia at Louisville. Virginia, 2-7 this season, really hasn't looked all that good. They're averaging 23.1 points per game, and they're ranked 10th best in the ACC in offense, and they've virtually, zero running game, essentially. The 94th rated success rate, and I think their defense is even worse than anything their offense can do. Georgia Tech is the only team that allows more yards than the Cavaliers in the ACC, and Virginia actually allows a lot of rushing yards, which is this is just not a good matchup for them. Absolutely not a good matchup for them. They've allowed three teams to put more than 200 yards against them, and Louisville, meanwhile, has really already had more than 200 yards in four of their games lately, and this season, I should say, and lately have in consecutive weeks eclipsed the 200 yard plateau rushing the ball. So, like I said, that's just a really bad matchup here tonight. And it's interesting to note Louisville is 6-0 ATS in home games versus good passing teams with a completion percentage of 58% or better. And Virginia, I have to admit, not a bad passing team, but still, that's not going to be enough to get it done against this kind of secondary. Louisville is also 8-0 ATS as a home favorite over the last two seasons. Average score is 36.8 to 8 for their opposition. So that's a 28-plus point per game differential, which easily qualifies on this ATS offering tonight. So I've got a situation here where I'm just looking blowout again, just much like happened to Virginia last time. I think the wheels have come off the Volkswagen, and it's over.
All right, there we go here with Alex here coming here with the Louisville with a blowout win here against and this one against the Virginia Cavaliers, a team that's had a lot of struggles this season, and of course Louisville coming in off that impressive win at home here against Virginia Tech. Some people thought this Virginia Tech was heading the right direction after a slow start.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard to look at Virginia with a lot of respect this year. They've won 5 of their last 19 games dating back to last season. Nothing seems to help them. Nothing seems to push them forward. You get the odd sort of game where there's some brilliance. There's flashes of brilliance, to put it that way, but it's just flashes, and that's about all there is to it. And I just think they're over. And I think Louisville, the way they're playing, I think they're playing like a team possessed. And this is not a good environment for anybody visiting. We saw what happened in Notre Dame earlier this season. And I know that Louisville may not be as up for this game as they are, but they have been focused. And this is a good team, good home team. And I'm looking for them to really run away with it tonight.
Yeah, and then of course Virginia's quarterback Tony Muscat's dealing with a foot injury, and could be Alex Anthony Calandria again back in there as Muscat's dealing with that injury. Was limited in the last game. All right, so here we go. Alex here with the Louisville Cardinals here laying the 20.5 against Virginia tonight here on ESPN at 7:30 Eastern Time. All right, Alex, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, NFL on the board tonight. Big card from the NHL. College hoops as well, sprinkling in some games. NBA, a couple on the board. What do you have going over at the site?
Tonight, I found some gems from the college basketball reports, and got 5 selections on board tonight, and 4 sides and 1 total. And of course, we'll have lots of college basketball moving forward. We're going to have lots of college football. all the games for this weekend should be up by tomorrow sometime, all the packages. And man, we've got nothing but like action from here right into Christmas. So good time to jump on board for a 1 month package. If you just want a weekend package, hey, come on board, get a weekend package, great bargain. And hey, just join me. We'll make some money together. And I'm ready for a big run again. It's kind of been spinning my wheels here for about a week and a half or so, but I'm ready for a big run again. So great time to jump on board.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Alex Smart over at Pick Dog Stream. You see the great results from Alex here as he produces some really good results here in college football. As Alex was mentioning, a great time to get on board with those long-term passes. Remember, we have 3, 7, or 30 day all sports pass to get all of Alex's pre and plays for that time period you select. When you go to his handicapper page and you make that purchase, remember the promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. Multi-capper promotions always available as well, giving you even greater value there. All right, Alex, it's always great having you show. Continue that success there. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Have a great weekend, Tony. Take care.
Here's Alex Smart here on the drive-thru. All right, let's continue here on the show. Let's head out to Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll welcome in Tony Brown. You'll catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. Bring in Tony here, ready to roll here with Tony Brown. Tony Brown, what's happening?
Tony T, I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Before we get to the game, because we'll be talking NHL, what'd you take out of that Kings, the Kings surges of this LA Kings? They go into Las Vegas to get the victory.
I knew you were going to say that. It's not like you got the Kings banner in the back of your thing over there. Now, that was a good game. I mean, anytime you beat the defending champs, that's one of my slogans. To be the best, you have to beat the best. So they're going to have to go through us if the Kings plan on making any noise, and they actually got the win. They only tied the season series. We took care of them over in L.A., so guess we're even now. We'll see what happens next time.
We'll see what happens next time. Indeed, Kings in a back-to-back slot tonight. But tonight, we go on the ice, and the Sharks got the monkey off their back. We'll see if they continue to roll on that one-game win streak. They'll be hosting the Oilers. Oilers have issues of their own. We see that the Oilers' big favorites on the road, total 6.5.
Yeah, these lines are kind of crazy to me. Like, the Oilers should be favored over the Sharks, no doubt. But minus 300, like, that's ridiculous. The Sharks are bad, but so are the Oilers. But I'm not looking at that game. The two bad teams, and I don't know, anybody can beat anybody in that situation. But I'm looking at the total. We looked at the Sharks total last time when I was here Tuesday, and we absolutely crushed it. It was 6.5, and they only scored 3 goals. And tonight we have it at 6.5 again. I've seen it up some places even at 7. I just think these totals are ridiculous. Like, the league knows and the odds makers knows that San Jose is the worst team in hockey. They average 1 goal. They put up 2 goals when they got their first win. I don't even think it's because they're good. I mean, no one's going to go 0-82, just like no one's going to go 82-0. It's just like market correction. But they only scored 2 goals in the win. They haven't put up 3 goals once this season. So in these big totals, I guess they're expecting the scoring to be one-sided. But again, they're not playing a great team like Tampa Bay. They're not playing Vancouver and things. They're playing the Oilers. The Oilers have 1 win in their last 4 games, and they cashed the under in 3 straight. Like, they're not even putting up but 2 or 3 goals. So 2 bad teams. No one's really punching the puck forward. They're not finding the back of the net often. I see another 2-1, 3-1, 2-2. Like, I don't see 8 and 7 goals in this game. No how. So I'm taking the under once again.
All right, Tony Brown says go under once again here with the Sharks. There are sevens in a lot of places right now with some juice here, so you can find the 7 number there. Yeah, we mentioned this here against the Sharks. They've scored more than 3 goals just once all season. They get a 2-1 victory there to get their first win. But, yeah, it's been tough scoring-wise for this Sharks team. Not until game number 2 where they scored 3 at home in a loss against Carolina. You see a lot of 1s up there, a lot of 0s, and a couple of 2s. Just not much scoring from this Sharks team.
Nah, they're rebuilding. They're dead last in the NHL in scoring. And you know what they say, if you can't score, you can't win. They're dead last in the standings. They got their first win in 12 games just the other night. There
we go. Tony Brown here on the Sharks. Oilers under a total of 7. This one will have a start time here of 10:30 Eastern time over on ESPN Plus tonight. Hockey action here, courtesy of Tony Brown. All right, Tony Brown, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. As we mentioned before, a couple of games here in the NBA. We have that NFL game tonight between Bears and Panthers, a couple from college football, as well as a big NHL card. Tony Brown has been on absolute fire in the NFL this season. 1,630 units of profit, all documented. These plays are documented over the site. Go to Tony's handicapper page, go down to pick history. You'll see every play. All right, Tony Brown, what do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, we got a huge card up tonight. There's 3 games that I loved in the NHL. So I got an NHL 3-pack, Thursday 3-pack. And I got the NBA's top play, the NFL's top play, and a top play in college basketball. So it's a super 6-pack going on tonight. Individual plays from the NBA, NFL, and college. And then I got my 3-pack in hockey. You can grab any play individually. They're only $25, or you can bundle them up. You can get 3 plays for $35 and just break your bookie 3 times over.
That's right, guys. Got to go with Tony Brown over at Pick Dogs. You see the great results here from Tony Brown here in the NHL this season. Also, what's not surprised, Tony Brown nearly 1,200 units of profit in the NHL as well. So Tony Brown has seen it all. Of course, you may consider Tony's 1-year all sports pass, your VIP plan. Tony, that's the best value.
Yeah, that's the best value. Like on a night like tonight, I have 6 plays up, but it comes out of 3 different leagues. So you have to buy 6 individual plays, or you have to get 3 individual league passes. And that's way more expensive than just getting the VIP pass. I don't put games out just to put them out. We're cashing in the NHL, NFL. Like, we're making big profits in all of these leagues. So you might as well jump in. You might not necessarily be a fan of hockey, but if you're a fan of money, then it's the same thing. We're leading the board in the NHL. And if you plan on making money betting hockey this season, you really can't afford not to grab the pass. Add it on to your NCAA, add it on to your NBA, and just pay one time. It's a full VIP, 365 days of play. It's not a season pass, it's a year pass. You get every single pick I release for the full year. So that'll take you back into baseball next year all the way through the World Series again. Then you get every pick I release, no upselling, playoffs, World Series, Super Bowl, championship, all for one low price. And we're not here to get your money. We're here to get the bookies' money. That's the best way to go if you plan on making money.
That's right, guys. Get Tony Brown's 1-year all sports pass. Use the promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll save a significant amount of money, 15% off, nearly $200 off his 1-year pass. Get on board right now. All right, Tony, as always, great having you on the show. Enjoy Las Vegas. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. But your thoughts early? I know we're talking here after a loss by the Lakers. How do you see this LA Lakers team this year?
Good again. I mean, it's the same old song for us. When we are healthy, we're one of the best teams in the league, not just the Western Conference, the whole league. But we were missing 3 starters last night, and the same thing. Anthony Davis, he's the MVP when he plays. Other than that, they call him Street Clothes Davis. So if we can stay healthy, we got a shot. If we can't stay healthy, no shot, and that's with any team in the league.
You had a lot of respect for Denver last year. You said you even feared, you were worried, concerned about them. What's your thoughts this year on this year's Denver team that you've seen so far?
More of the same. Denver has been showing this pattern for a while. It was only a couple years ago when Murray was going off for 40 and 50-point games in the playoffs. So that's when they gained their experience. Then they lost Murray for the whole season, so that's why they didn't have it that year. They got him back, and they won it. So they've been patterned to do this for a while. The Joker's averaging triple-doubles with ease, but now, again, Murray's down again. So without the health, no team is going to be able to do it. And every team's going to have injuries throughout the season. That's just part of the game, but they can't be lingering injuries, and they definitely can't come in the playoffs. But when healthy, Denver's still the number 1 team in the league.
That's more of Tony Brown. Okay, your thoughts here on the Warriors. The upgrade with Paul and having a Poole lead, or their downgrade?
Either grade. The Warriors have been declining for a while. And like I said, we've been talking about the Warriors for several years now. They were just the benefit of a new system. Like, remember the Wildcat came in and Miami started winning games and stuff? Shooting from the half-court line was, new to the league. And they just happened to know how to drain shots from the parking lot. And it was a success for them. But when the shots went cold, they literally lost a championship behind that. You know what I mean? They couldn't score a bucket. They couldn't get a layup. They couldn't get anybody to put a back to the basket. And they lost a 3-1 lead in the finals and lost the championship. So they're getting older. The shots are getting colder. And they're just, Chris Paul, they got the oldest point guard in the league who always, when it comes playoff time, he's going to be injured. So I never really was a fan of the Warriors. They had their 15 minutes of fame, and now I'm glad it's over, and I hope they trade Draymond Green because I don't like him either.
All right, did the Clippers upgrade or downgrade when they traded for Harden?
Technically it's an upgrade. It's James Harden. He's a former MVP, and he's going to be able to, put 30, 40 points on the board. You got to assume that Paul and George, one of them, if not both of them, are going to get hurt. So then you still got a, MVP level player on the floor with you guys. But it's more than just like players and skills. It's like camaraderie, it's coaching, it's the fans. It's like the Clippers are just a team that never made sense. They don't make sense. Like Lob City made like good highlights, but it didn't make sense. You can't win anything with that. Now you got the Claw and Paul George, a mid-range jump shooter, and a prima donna with James Harden. Like, they just don't make sense again. And then when it comes down to it, I think any of the good teams in the West can beat the Clippers. I don't think the Clippers can beat the upper echelon teams in the West.
All right. No, going on now, let's talk about the bottom line here. ROI, at the end of the season, will the Rockets be a point spread winner for you if you took them every game? Are they going to be the new Thunder? When you take them as dogs, they'll get the money for you.
I mean, if they keep getting, 20, 30, 18, 15-point spreads, then of course, because they're not horrible. They're an NBA team, and they've only gotten better since last year. But I'm not putting any money on the Rockets, like any. I don't care what the spread is, if they're favorite. I mean, they're just a team I'd rather stay away from. 80% of the time, they're going to lose. And you're just looking for covers. And when you're betting, when I take a plus money team, I think the team actually has a shot to win outright. I'm taking the points for insurance and as a bonus. When you take points with the Rockets, you're just hoping they hold on because you kind of actually don't think they can win.
The Nets took a new look, right? Heading in a new direction. They're covering spreads, even winning games. Your thoughts here? Is this a team you could back?
For sure. I've been high on Ben Simmons since he came out. I don't know the insides and outs of the locker room and the politics inside of these people's head. But as far as the basketball, Ben Simmons, he's the truth. Like, he's like a young version of Magic Johnson. He can rebound, assist, pass. Like, he can even score if he needs to, but it's just not a big part of his game. And with the rest of the Nets, the Nets are going to be somebody to watch out for in the East. They definitely could upset one of the better teams in the first round.
Yeah, people, the Bucks, they got rid of their coach, who was a really good defensive coach. Yeah, they got knocked out in the first round against Miami. Miami wasn't a real 8 seed. The Bucks, with their defense, are they upgrading or downgrading this season?
I don't know. I don't even know if they need to play defense. Like I said, this is Magic and Kareem 2024, Lillard and Giannis. Like, it's crazy, you know what I mean? And some people were calling Chris Middleton, saying they have an actual big three. I'm not high on Middleton, but he was the big two with Giannis when they won the championship. So, I mean, the basketball people love him. And, Milwaukee will be hard to stop with Giannis and Lillard. Those are both people who are a franchise player. You can build a franchise around. Now they're playing together. Lillard's not selfish. Giannis isn't selfish. We don't care who has 50, 40. Let's just win this game. And Giannis was a defensive MVP by itself. So, anybody that can actually stay in front of somebody, they'll be good on defense. I think Milwaukee's the best team in the East.
There you go, from Tony Brown. All right, Tony Brown, have yourself a great weekend. And we'll enjoy Vegas weather right now. It's probably the best right now. We'll catch up with you again next week.
I got my hoodie on, so it's all good, man. It's just lightly cold. It's not burning up no more. It feels great. We got a Thursday night football game. It's going to be dark outside, so feet up. Game's already put into play, and let's win some money.
There you go. Tony Brown here on the drive-thru. All right, Tony. We'll catch up with you next week. All right, let's continue here on the show.
Next week.
Let's continue on here with the show. We got some NBA talk, right? NBA pick coming up here from Millz Young. Catch him over at Pick Dogs. Of course, he's got lots going on with the video series, with the UFC rundown, as well as his prop video series here on Pick Dogs. Millz, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony? How's everybody doing today out there?
Things going great. All right, Millz. Tonight we're going NFL here tonight. I'm sorry, we're not going NFL. I always think of Thursdays with Millz, but we got the NBA starting this season. That's right. We're going to NBA. I always getting used to those Thursdays appearances here with Millz when we get some prop plays from him from the NFL. But we're going NBA tonight because there is an NBA card tonight with 2 games up on the board. Of course, one featuring those are Orlando Magics here as they take on this Atlanta Hawks team, and we're seeing the Hawks a road favorite here, 3.5, total 232.5. But you're going to be looking at this one a little differently.
Yeah, definitely, man. I could give you one for the NFL when we get done with this, and it wouldn't be right if I didn't start it off with something my ears just heard. Hey, Tony. Did Tony Brown just compare Ben Simmons to Magic Johnson?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I don't know.
You heard that, right?
I heard that.
You gonna let him get away with it?
Well, he went a little long in this. We went long in the segment.
All right, man. For Kobe's sake, I'll be easy on him.
Yeah.
I'll be easy on him.
Well, we know where he's coming from. We know it's a lot of tongue in cheek with Tony Brown.
Yeah, man, I get it. I get it. Maybe how he plays the point guard position at times and can rebound and pass the ball. But we just can't be comparing no Ben Simmons to no greatness Magic Irvin Johnson out there. Like, we just can't do that, man. Ben Simmons sat back for like 2 years, decided not to play. Don't even get me started. All right, let's get it going. All right, Orlando Magic taking on the Atlanta Hawks in this game, man. Both these teams got the same record. I think they're both 4-3. I'm not looking at it from a team's perspective, but Magic, I think, are getting 4.5 points. And, it seems like the Atlanta Hawks seem to let down teams when they're supposed to win. Orlando Magic's kind of banged up, don't got some of the players out there. So I got a player prop to get you on top. I'm going to be looking at a second-year player, Paolo Banchero. Over 21.5 points is the point prop that he has right now. He started off the season kind of going slow, kind of got on the bad side of my mind. Going for 9 points in his first game, think 15 in the second. But then beyond then, turned it on, going for 30, 25, and 21. The thing that I like in those last 3 games, he was real efficient at his field goal percentage, going for about 60% and higher. I like his all-around overall game. He's not a guy that's just relying on one way to score the ball. He's not a guy camping out there and just shooting jump shots. He can get in all type of ways. Pretty efficient at the free throw line, too. And he likes to grab rebounds. Out of his rebounds, he's averaging, I think, about 5.5 out of those rebounds. 2 of them are offensive. When you get offensive rebounds, that's an easy, quick 2 to 4 points that I like right there. The Atlanta Hawks, what they're doing, what they're allowing in these last couple of games, they allowed all 5 players that was the main star on that team to go over 21.5 points. One of the players dropped like Reggie Miller numbers on him, man, like 31 on the Hawks within the last 5 games. I think it was Anthony Edwards. But yeah, so all the key players was able to get their point props whenever you're playing against the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young don't know no defense. DeJounte Murray ain't trying to stop nobody. Quinn Snyder, he's just over there just letting these boys just play. So I'm taking Paolo Banchero over his point prop.
All right, we got Millz coming in here. Banchero over his player prop, 21.5 points tonight here, coming off an effort here on the 6th here with 22 points in that loss here to the Mavericks. But Banchero, slow start, but it's starting to come on here this season off his rookie campaign.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. He's averaging 18.5 points right now this year. Last year he ended with, I think, 19 something points as a rookie. It's the Orlando Magic too. And all Paulo knows is being that number 1 option. That's it, and he was that as a rookie. This year, Franz Wagner been getting his ball on, man. He's been going over his point prop too, But when it comes down to it, the way for the Orlando Magic to win is all through Paulo. And they got to realize that Jalen Suggs can contribute when he can. Markelle Fultz on the court, he's not really nobody you're going to rely on. I think it really comes down to 2 players for the Orlando Magic, and that's Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and third option would be my boy Cole Anthony off the bench. That guy gets off the bench and reminds me of Lou Williams. He's up there dropping 20 points in like 22 minutes if he has to. Cole Anthony, he used to be a starter for them a couple of years out. But besides that, those are the only scoring options for the Magic. So that's why I like it too. You don't got selfish players over there on the Magic, and you don't got nobody else who believes that they're a star besides Paulo.
There we go. And of course, when the calendar turned November, man, 30 points, 25, 22. A little bit more minutes as well here. Also made issues here on that road trip to start the season. They're out west. They had a 4-game road trip. Now they've had some time at home. And now they're again in the game 3 of this homestand as they haven't had to travel. So they're not going to worry about any travel fatigue here.
Yeah, that's another good option that you got right there, And the thing is this too. When you're against other young players on another team, like the Atlanta Hawks, how they got Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, that kind of encourages your other up-and-coming stars to play their best of the game. It's kind of like if you're playing up against Mavericks against Luka. Anybody who plays up against Luka wants to show up and put up numbers. So that's the moxie that you kind of got in this game compared to if he was playing a team like the Washington Wizards, who got really nobody over there besides like a Kyle Kuzma to score points and stuff like that. So, when you got Trae Young on the other side doing this little ice trade the game and all that type of stuff, you want to go out there and you want to put up buckets on them too as well.
That's right. All right, Millz, ready for your NFL pop to get us more on top.
All right, man. So yeah, we got to say a good game. That's how you know, man. We ain't got no good game, but I got a good receiver prop to get you on top. Man, this guy's been killing it this year. Adam Thielen for the Carolina Panthers been as advertised. His reception prop is real high. It's at 6.5 receptions. But you want to know something? He's been averaging 8.1 receptions on the year right now. Bryce Young don't know how to do anything but look his way. Even when he had Andy Dalton in there, he was even hitting that reception prop as well. Nobody else in that backfield or even in that receiver core has taken that second step. DJ Chark from the Jaguars that got traded to Detroit here and there, he doesn't really go over 2 or 3 receptions in the game. Ming that they drafted, he's not really acclimated to the offense. The only other thing that got is every now and then is a Hayden Hurst that'll pop up at the tight end spot. So that's why I really like this Adam Thielen prop. He didn't get his prop last game out. I think that was the first time that he didn't hit. Before that, I think I got these numbers in mind. He went for 8, 7, 11, 11, and another 11 in his game. So, yeah, man, Adam Thielen's been one of the better receivers out there, hitting his reception props out there for all the players.
There you go. Got the double there from Millz here with your NFL prop and your NBA prop. All right, Millz, let's take a look over at pick.com for nice action. We got NBA. We got some college hoops up there. Millz on the board here from college football this year. What do you have going on over at the site?
I got 2 plays up on the board to get you guys paid. I got one in the association. That's the NBA. That's kicking off probably in a couple of minutes from now. That's the Milwaukee game kicking off. And then I also got to play a college football tonight for you guys. That's going to be kicking off, I think, 7:30 Eastern time for you guys. Besides that, it's Thursday, so your best thing is to get that 3-day pass. You get the 3-day pass, you get my 2 plays for today. You get all my NBA plays for tomorrow. You get all my college football plays for the Saturday. You get all my UFC plays too as well. UFC's locked and loaded this week, folks. UFC 295, 2 title fights on the rise. I already went over my plays. I already got 2 bets up already on the site for you guys to get paid too. I got my UFC winners bet, and then I also got a dog money bet up there already for the site. So you guys get 4 bets if you guys get the pass today. Besides that, I got about 4 more bets that's going to be locked and loaded just for UFC by itself. So this is the time to go ahead and get that 3-day pass, get your best value so you can get paid every single day.
That's right, guys. Got on board with Millz Young over at Pick Dogs. Got action up on the board right now. NBL on net, best bet on the board, but best way to roll here with Millz is get that 3-day pass, get all Millz premium plays here, college football, NFL, the hoops coverage, UFC coverage. You got it here on that 3-day pass. Perfect time to get it. Use promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. Multi-cap promotions, even greater value there. All right, Millz, it's always great having you show. Let us know what's happening here this weekend with the UFC.
Yeah, man. So UFC is locked and loaded going to Madison Square Garden. It was supposed to be John Jones taking on Stipe. That got canceled, and we got a new fight. 2 competitors who were supposed to be fighting for the title, and Tom Aspinall and Sergey Pavlovich. And then you also have another title fight on there. Alex Pereira, the guy who beat Izzy Adesanya, stepped up to another weight class, and he's going to be taking on Yuri Prochazka, the former title holder who had to give up his belt because he got injured. So you got 2 title fights on there. It's going on in Madison Square Garden. Besides that, you got about 13 fights on there, and it's locked and loaded. From the average fan, if you guys just want to watch good fights, this is the card. This card is stacked. It's locked and loaded. And besides that, it's not a lot of chalky price tags. What I mean by chalky price tags is I don't think there's not one fighter on here that's higher than a minus 210 favorite. I lied. Yeah, there's a couple. But yeah, the point is this. There's none over a minus 3 favorite on here, and I like a lot of dogs on this card, and I like a lot of nice price tags. So this is the time, man. You guys need to watch this event. I think you guys, the average casual fan, I like a lot of the fights on here. Look for Matt Frivola to turn some heads too as well. He's a big underdog.
All right, there's Millz. New York was a little late to the party hosting UFC. I mean, they don't like blood. They just don't like the sight of blood. I guess in New York, took them a while before they get in Madison Square Garden. Like so much in combat sports is about like they like to stage these fights in these fighters' hometown. Is there a lot of UFC fighters coming out of New York?
Yeah, there's about 4 to 5. There's 4 fighters fighting on this card that's from New York on this card. There's about 4 of them already on there. So, and when they fight in Madison Square Garden, it seems like the crowd turns them into another little, more better than what they are, or gives them fighting with that spirit that they need. And if it goes to the judges' scorecards, you already got the crowd going in their favor too. So, yeah, it's about 4 New York fighters actually fighting on this card out there. One of the fighters actually interviewed, his name's Matt Frivola. He said he just targets the big cards out here. Any pay-per-view, he said he targets when he wants to fight, and that's when he wants to fight. So he's making his return to Madison Square Garden. We made money with him, too, last time as an underdog as well.
All right, there you go, Millz Young. All right, Millz, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week. Of course, we can catch up with you, those great video series, UFC rundowns, as well as your prop video.
Yeah, check the prop video out there for tonight. I went over the whole NFL slate. I got way more player props, and I'm not going to go over them all, but got about 4 player props in there for the NFL, and I got a touchdown prop too. The touchdown props, we've been hitting them as well. There's a lot of NHL games. Didn't give you guys none of those, but I did include some NBA props too. So, shop for props over there at Pick Dogs. Let me know what you guys like. Besides that, look for my UFC bet money with me. I beat down the bookies and went over all the cards, all the fights on the cards for you guys. So you can't go wrong. That just came out about a couple of hours ago today too on the site. So when you're done watching the drive-through, go ahead and watch that and let me know what you guys like on there too.
You got it, guys. Check them out. Like, subscribe, set notifications so when Millz drops those videos, you get them right away, get the best numbers. All right, Millz, have a great night. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, Tony, man. You guys have a wonderful night.
You got Millz Young here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Up next, we're going to bring in Wayne Scott. Catch him over at Pick Dog Spring. We'll bring in Wayne right now. Ready to roll here with Wayne. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, Pick Dog family? Hope everybody doing good today.
I think it's going great today, Wayne. Okay, we're going to go NFL tonight with Wayne. As we're not going to get NBA, we are going into the NFL tonight with Wayne tonight. He came in here with his pick tonight. Are we looking at the NFL tonight?
Yes, sir, we are. But this game is horrible. I don't even know how I made the headlines. I don't even know how I made the Thursday night football game. I guess because Bryce Young was on there and they thought Justin Fields was going to be playing. But Justin Fields is out of this game, man. Carolina 1-7, treacherous on the season. Chicago not much better, 2-7 on the season. ATS wise, Carolina 1-6-1. Chicago a little better ATS, 3-5-1. Head to head, Chicago has had the ups on Carolina. They're 5-2, but what we're here for the spread. And out of those 7 games, it's even. It's 3-3 with 1 push. Carolina has struggled a little bit on the road, yes, but they've been picking it up here a little bit lately. They're 0-4 on the road, while Chicago is only 1-3 at home. So Chicago, although on paper they might look like the stronger, fresher option, this is still a bad Chicago team, just as bad as the Panthers. Last week, the Panthers have been struggling a little bit on offense, but their defense isn't as bad. Last week they gave up 14 points. From Bryce Young throwing interceptions. Him after that game talks about how he wants to pick up his play. Offensive line, heavy on talking about protecting him better. So there's a lot of emphasis about coming into this game and seeing a better effort and performance. Defensively, going against a veteran quarterback like Minshew, we can call him a veteran now. He's played on a couple different teams and led them. The defense did good. The defense is a very good pass defense. They struggled with rushing, but last week I seen them picking up rushing. On the other side, let's talk about some of the pros and cons with Chicago. Chicago has been staying in games with the rush. They are a good rushing team, but they can't pass. Whether they got Justin Fields on there or Tyson Badgett, they just cannot seem to pass the ball. That's one of the Panthers' strength is guarding the pass. As I mentioned, Panthers not good at rushing, so they'll look to load the box against Chicago, but you're getting 3 points with a Panther team that's better than better than the paper perceives them. So I'm taking the Panthers in the points here. Not a pretty pick, but I definitely feel like it's the right side of this game. I'm not laying 170 with the Bears. I'm not laying 3 points with the Bears either. I think Panthers come in this one and fight. I think we see a better Bryce Young than last week, and I'm not trusting this quarterback. He's struggled these last 2 starts he's had, and I believe he'll struggle tonight again, even at home.
All right, Wayne says Panthers here +3, +3.5. There are some 3.5s in the marketplace, although we're starting to see the money come on the Panthers. So those 3.5s are starting to disappear, as we're seeing here. The sharpest book in the world is moving this one now to 3 in this game. And yeah, Bryce Young had those 2 pick sixes. You might see a little bit more conservative game plan, a little more check downs. I think although we know that the secondary here for the Bears isn't that great. We saw that with the Chargers.
Now, definitely not good. Like I said, both sides of the ball, they're struggling to pass. They're struggling to get the ball downfield, passing on offense and defense. That's what they do. They're giving up the pass. Defense, the rush defense isn't that bad, but Carolina doesn't rely on the rush. They try to get a few yards out of the rush, but they're basically starting to air it out with Bryce Young. Earlier in the season, they had the handcuffs on them, seeing what they got. But now it's like now I get this feel from them that they really want to see what they got to see if they want to move on or how many years they're going to give this kid. But I think he goes out there and compete after last week based off of what I've been hearing from him. And I think they can stay close to this game, if not get a sneaky win outright and get 2 wins just like the Bears have this season. They only got 1 more win than the 1-7 Panthers. So.
Any thoughts here in this one here with any of the props, the running back, Chuba Hubbard? They may think they may run it. Your thoughts here on Young here? Will they try and do a little check down situations here where maybe bait the Bears secondary a little bit with a little short pass and then air it out? After you've given out 2 pick sixes, I just have to think they're going to probably scale it down a little bit going downfield. Maybe just try to bait them into something.
Yeah, they got to get this run game going. Do I think they have a huge rushing night? No, but they got to emphasize on at least starting off trying to get the run game going. But I agree with Millz, man. I like Thielen. It's one of the bright sides for them, and I like for him to check down to the tight end a lot too. But I definitely see them giving Bryce Young a chance. It seems like they're going to dial it back, but I think that's just the first thought process, but I think they're going to let him air it out some, man. You don't want to shut him down too much off of a bad game. You want to build his confidence, like you said. Start off with the short passing game, and then end up letting him air it out, man.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to try to bait him because we know that Bears secondary is bad, and maybe you may just want to bait him a little bit with short, then go deep. Maybe try to get some big plays downfield. I think that might be the adequate strategy here because you don't want to, this kid threw 2 pick sixes, going into the room what they're thinking, right? No more.
Yeah, pretty much. And on the other side of that, yeah, the Bears, Herbert, last week, he only had about I want to say about 80 yards, but I definitely think they try to get him going a little bit. No, Foreman had 80 yards, I'm sorry. And I definitely think they try to get any running back going. Foreman used to play for the Panthers, so if he does get the nod in this one, then I know the Panthers got a little familiarity with Foreman, so I know that I think that bodes a little bit better for the Panthers, just knowing what they get from them. Some guy that was practicing with them all year last year. The people are still left on this defense. I think they pick up on some of his tendencies, and that helps out the Panthers.
Well, we know where Wayne's from. He's from the state of Carolina. How far are you from the Panther Stadium?
About 45 minutes.
All right. So we see over there. We're in college hoops. We know there's a lot of college hoops in North Carolina. There's some teams that you follow up there, right?
Yes, sir. I definitely follow all the big teams and some of the smaller teams. North Carolina, I actually on a smaller team today, and in North Carolina, but in North Carolina, Duke. NC State, Gardner Webb.
Yeah, the smaller schools. Yeah, the smaller schools, you keep
yes,
an eye. You know those smaller schools very well.
Elon, I can keep going. There's a lot of underrated schools out here, and not even the North Carolina A&Ts.
UNC Asheville.
Yeah, UNC Asheville. I could just keep going, but there's a lot of teams that keep up with them, and I'm pretty familiar with them all. Yep, Charlotte. Definitely didn't play well the other night, but I'm familiar with them all. I definitely keep up with them in the surrounding areas, and I'm still a Florida guy, so I keep up with my Florida teams as well. So excited for college basketball. I do have 2 plays out in college basketball today, so definitely ready for these these weekend cards when you're starting to see the more competitive games coming.
Yeah, more Case coming indeed. So we got Wayne here on this Panthers here on the show, plus the 3.5 here against the Bears tonight here, 8:15 Eastern time. This one will be on streaming over on the Amazon Prime. Everybody, I don't want to say everybody. Some folks don't have Prime, but you can find it there on the Amazon Prime tonight. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Premium tonight as we have college hoops, a little bit of NBA, a lot of hockey on the ice as well. You know, Wayne will get on the ice as well. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yes, sir. I do have a 3-pack. I have my best bet in the NBA, and my 3-pack consists of my best bet in the NBA, 1 college basketball, and 1 NHL pick. Like Tony said, I do like to dabble in the NHL, definitely on huge cards like this. NHL is one of those sports you can definitely find value in, so don't be scared of the ice. Keep your eyes on the ice because there's definitely good money to be made on the ice, definitely on huge cards like this. But 4 plays altogether, extra college basketball for my long-term subscribers, so don't forget to look at long-term too if I want to buy pick by pick. But yeah, 4 plays altogether, 3-pack, and my best bet in the NBA for sale.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dogs Premium. Get on board with those long-term passes. Be in action with Wayne. We got the big weekend coming up with NFL, college football, the hoops coverage, ice as well. Get on board. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week. And let everybody know about your boxing video series over at Pick Dogs.
Yes, sir. That series will be able to ramp back up next week. There's a decent card this week. Shakur Stevenson and Santos. Like I said, the line wasn't too where I wanted to be, but I'm going to deep dive on that undercard and see if I can give y'all out a banging play for tomorrow. One that I can hop on this week if I can find one. But David Benavidez coming up, Devin Haney coming up too. So you'll definitely see me dropping some very soon on Pick Dogs.
That's right. You can always catch Wayne on the weekend shows as well.
Yes, sir. I'll be there with Jay, talking college football, most likely with the guys, and NFL this weekend. We done brought the round table back on the weekend, so that's very fun for me, going over all the games and joking and laughing with the guys, man. That's always a fun thing to do. A little longer show, but it's definitely worth it.
That's right, guys. Check them out. All right, Wayne, have a great weekend. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, appreciate you for having me, Tony, and you guys good luck with all your bets tonight. Let's get it.
You got Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on. And once we get to my pick, then we'll go ahead and we will do the recap. Continue on here on the drive-thru. Time for my play. We'll go. Actually, we're going to cover a double coverage here on this Virginia-Louisville game. We'll go ahead and put the play up here for you right now. I'll be looking at a total in this one. Pretty much piggybacked into what Alex mentioned here. Looks to me this Louisville defense a little too dominant for Virginia. Virginia looking at possibly the third string quarterback, I believe it is. Second or third string quarterback. Calandria, I believe, is the second string, right? Because Muskett's out. Let me double check on that one. But anyway, it just looks to me here the defense for Louisville will be a little too much for Virginia. I expect this to go under total here of 50.5. Actually, we've seen it now move down to 49.5. So let me take a look at the market to see where everybody else is at here as we're getting right near kickoff time in about half an hour. Let's see here. Showing 49.5 at the sharpest book in the world. There's a lot of 50.5 still out there in the marketplace. So you can find 50.5 many places. But the sharpest book in the world, late move here to the under. So I'm kind of with them on that under tonight. Louisville and Virginia. Much as what was talked about there with Alex as we had our segment earlier today. It's just, to me, this Louisville defense is the key to keeping this Virginia offense in check tonight. And I think they'll do enough to win. Let's see here. Oops, passed it up here. I know Musket was trending to not playing, but let me double check that. 1 second here. Musket questionable here on the sheet. Let's see if we have any update here on the Virginia quarterback. Still considered day-to-day, dealing with that foot injury that cost him to miss the majority of the game. He was wearing a boot on the sideline last week, and again, was pretty much questionable. So likely, what I'm seeing here, likely Anthony Calandria will get the start here instead of Musket tonight. And Andrea is a true freshman quarterback coming against this Louisville defense. Yikes! Yikes! So that's what we'll go under the total in this one. Maybe there's something in that line move, right? Letting you know that it's going to be Calandria because we see that line. We see the money coming here on the under as we speak. All right, guys. Over at Pick Dodge Premium, got best bet up on the board right now as well with an NBA pick. So get on board. You can also get my long-term pass. I have a 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Select. When you go over to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. You could also get the longer-term passes and add a second capper, multi-capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Let's get to the recap for tonight. We started with Alex. Alex like Louisville lay the 20.5 here against Virginia. Tony Brown says Sharks Oilers under 7. Millz like Paulo Banchero over 21.5 points. Wayne was on the Panthers plus 3.5 against the Bears. I will be here on Louisville, Virginia under 50.5. Better hurry up and get that number before before it goes away. I won the likes the most. Let's go with Millz here with Paulo Banchero over 21.5 points. Situation works fine for me. It's a third straight home game. There won't be any travel fatigue. We'll do that. And of course, there's also injuries on the Orlando side, giving Paulo more opportunities to get his points tonight. All right, that's going to do it for this edition here of The Drive. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. each time. We'll do it all over again. We'll have college football. We'll have 9 games from the NBA, some on the NHL. So, guys, make sure you tune in. And college hoops as well. So, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow live here at 6 Eastern Time. Remember to always get started with that morning show, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have Mitch, we have Chris, we have Jay with the morning show. Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes, his betting tools show. We also have a show with a roundtable discussion. Remember Big Al McMorty? Missed him this week. It was in New York, catching the Spurs and the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. Big Al McMorty's All Access video. You want to check that one out. Jay's Jam Session, NBA, NFL, Ron O'Malley with his college football rundown. Also, Chris is his wraparound NHL. Rod Zawacki NHL video series. Public betting with Dana Lane. Millz with his prop video, his UFC rundown as well. Brad with his parlay video. Nick Meckin with his first touchdown video. Check those all out over at Pick Dogs. Lots of content. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, set those notifications so when these videos drop, you get them right away. All right, that's going to do it here for our show here for Thursday. I'd like to thank everybody in the chat room. Don Chain, Mitch Mortar, Matt D in there, Clyde the Glide Drexler, Clyde with a K, Mitch Morber in there as well, Matt D in there. We have our man Raven Ron in there as well, Lendo 86, shout out to you. We've got KG 1028 with the timer on there, trying to manage our clock management in there. Ramon, Louis Eisenhower, I like the way he spells that, and Louis and Lingowick as well. All right, I thank everybody here for joining us in the chat tonight. Got some really good birthday wishes in here from some of the chat folks. Who is that there? Mitch Morber, I believe it's his birthday, right? There we go. So there we go. Mitch Morber, happy birthday to you. He took $20 to win 500 at Foreman, 2 TDs plus 100 yards rushing. So there's Mitch Morber, one of the chat regulars here we see here on the drive-thru. Right, that's going to do it here for our show tonight. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from